Welcome back to episode 105 of the Purple Rain podcast with Sutton Daff, with Simply S10. And we are back and we actually have some news to talk about. Thank goodness, finally. But before all that, you can see this guy's back on his computer. I just like noticed that. Just noticed that.
Yeah.
Hopefully no technical difficulties. But first and foremost, you can find us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast. And you can find this guy on Twitter, on Instagram at Sutton Def. You can find me on Twitter at SimplyAS10 and on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. And sorry if I sound a little like out of it. Just came out of like a 2.5 hour class, so bear with me. But like I said, we have news to talk about. I cannot wait to get into it. We have like the Ravens interested in a player. I know we'll get into that. I cannot wait for the opinions on that one.
Yeah.
And also, it is about to be draft time. So just letting y'all know, we talked about it before. There will be a mock draft coming up soon. I know we did that last year, and we missed on both of the picks, but hopefully we're right this time. And I'm actually kind of happy we missed on both of them because Bateman over Terrace Marshall Jr. sounds real good right now. But how are you doing, son?
Man, I'm doing good on this Monday, man. A couple weeks away from the draft. I'm starting to hear more and more about the draft. Of course, we have this news about Melvin Gordon talking to the Ravens and stuff like that. We re-signed Calais, Campbell, Josh Bynes, and we're going to get into all of that stuff in this episode 105 of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming out to this. Everybody who's in the live Rain Gang chat right now, I see you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming out. I got my guy Dre. Of course, the Purple Rain pioneer himself, K-Dog, is in the building. Says, yo, what's good, Rain Gang family? Hope everybody had a great weekend. Now let's get this thing going. Yeah. Zeke Hokage in the building. Twisted Purple Bird, what's going on? Dawson, Noti Gang. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that notification bell if you have not already. So that way you're going to be notified every time that we go live and every time we post a video.
Yes.
Zach George says, what's good? Taquan Christian in the house says, yo, Rain Gang, Sutton, and Alex. What's going on, Taquan? Appreciate you for coming through. Leo said it in the house. Yolanda, Dylan, Earl. We got Ravens Online Gatekeepers in here. My guy Black Daniels is in the house as well. Man, Gilbert's in here. Don C. What's going on, Don C? My guy. Team Ramey. The Rain Gang is in full effect tonight. Needless to say. Now, if you're not part of the live Rain Gang, you're part of the hashtag Replay Gang. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video. And make sure you leave your comments down below. Because, you're not part of the live chat, but you're still part of the family at the end of the day. You're still really part of the Rain Gang. So make sure you leave your comments down below with any thoughts that you might have about anything that we say in this episode. And also subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, Black Daniel says something back in the lab. I'm back in the lab now. I mean, I did an update on my Mac like earlier today, and I think that might have fixed the issue. So things have been running pretty smoothly since then. Gonna continue to monitor it though. But I don't know. The iPad episode wasn't that bad. I watched it back. I was like, I could make that work if I just make a few little adjustments. Shout out to the iPad. Anyway.
Shout out to Apple.
For sure. Anyway, so like we said, we do have a lot to talk about tonight. Now. Let's just hop right into this whole Melvin Gordon thing, yeah? Okay. I kind of got the feeling of how you were feeling about it before we went live, and I can kind of see it now. You're not really into it. So the Ravens, they were rumored that Melvin Gordon was talking. You're mixed, right? Yeah. Well, Ian Rappaport actually reported that the Ravens were in talks with Melvin Gordon on a potential deal to bring him to Baltimore, and my guy Simply is mixed on it. I am also pretty mixed on it because while yes, it would be, and I guess I'll just start with kind of like my thoughts on this. Yes, while it would be like a good insurance policy, and that's basically what it would be. I mean, you got J.K. Dobbins, you got Gus Edwards, who are both coming off of, injuries, like season-ending injuries, where you kind of want a guy who's, coming off of a season where he averaged 4.5 yards a carry. That's more than Latavius Murray or Devontae Freeman did last year. Not by too much, but notably better. Also more touchdowns than either of those guys as well. So it would be a great insurance policy just in case either one of those guys, J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards, is not ready to go or is not 100% and is not the same player. I would like to have him in the fold. But on the other hand, I don't think that, like I just said, Melvin Gordon would be a really good insurance policy, but at this point, I don't think the Ravens need insurance. I think they need more assets. I think that there's other things that need to be addressed other than running back right now, and I'm pretty sure that's how you're feeling about it too. No?
Yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling it, and I'm trying not to be as reactionary because like when I see it, I'm like, bro, like we're sitting here, who was rushing the passer next to Owe and Bowser?
Yeah.
I mean, where is our interior rush coming from? Like, because that's basically non-existent, and we're talking about Melvin Gordon, bro. Just bring back Mark Ingram at this point. I mean, at least he brings a whole bunch of just like that just upbeat, just teammate. Like that's just how I feel with that. But I literally feel exactly the same way you do. Just a mix, just the positive and the negatives. I'm right there with you. We could draft a running back if anything.
Yeah. What's going on, Boz? Mod Boz in the house says, "Yo, Rain Gang, what's going on? Like and subscribe. Appreciate you for coming through, Boz." Kimberly in the house says, "Hey, everybody, what's up? What's going on, Kimberly?" My guy Dre is chiming in here. Says, "I hate to say it, but I don't like it. Even if he can be productive, but why not just draft another running back or use Tyson Williams?" That's another good point. That's a good point.
Tyson ain't getting no carries, unfortunately, and it's just not happening. It sucks.
I mean, but it's a lot cheaper to go that route, than as opposed to paying Melvin Gordon at minimum $2.5 or $3 million per year. I don't know. With the cap space we have right now, especially considering after draft, we're gonna have to make all those signings, especially if we keep all those damn picks.
Yeah, we have 5. I thought we had 4 fourth-round picks. We have 5 fourth-round picks. So I'm sorry, that was wrong. Thank you for correcting me. We have 5.
Is there really 5? Are you sure? 5?
I think it's 5. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 5.
Jesus, man, that is a slew of picks in one round. Like, it's ridiculous. But no, I mean, like I said, I really like Dre's point here. We could draft another running back. If we do have 5 freaking picks in the 4th round, why not use one of those picks on, our running back? If you really like a guy who's still there, why not? Cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, like I said, it just feels like there's priorities that need to be put in place and that need to be followed here. And it just doesn't seem like this is our number one priority right now.
Yeah. I just don't see it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, like I said, we got, what's his name? Kevon Seymour, cornerback number 3. Why haven't we heard anything about the secondary?
Yeah. Let's see. My guy Dawson chimes in here, says, "I would like Melvin Gordon if Gus and JK are not ready to go. Don't want to rush guys back if they're not 100%. But if Gus and JK are good, then we don't need him."
I agree with that too.
Sure.
I agree with that. I mean, that's why I think the draft maybe wouldn't be such a bad idea, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will. I mean, like I said, the guy's coming off of a season where he averaged 4.5 yards a carry, which means that per 2 carries, he's getting almost a first down, 9 out of 10 yards, which ain't half bad at all. Literally ain't half bad. And
he was splitting time with Javonte Williams too. He wasn't their premier back. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Mark Ingram. I mean, just he was getting snaps with the Chargers and goes to the Broncos. I mean, not getting the full workload, but still getting some type of carries. So,
I mean, that's interesting that you bring up Mark Ingram. Could the Ravens possibly be trying to get or sign another basically Mark Ingram 2.0? And kind of recreate what they did in the 2019 season? I don't know. Maybe, right? Yeah.
And then Justice Hill is just there. I mean, I think I'm the only person who actually likes Justice. I mean, I have no problem with him.
I was excited when we drafted him.
I don't recall him fumbling. He could catch the ball at the backfield. We just kind of failed him because he would be a third down back when he really shouldn't be a third down back. But that was kind of on coaching. But I'm kind of, I don't know what they're gonna do with him because he's coming back from injury too. I know he'll probably play in the preseason, but that means he probably has to rush from his injury because he wants to at least get playing time. It's just very weird.
Yeah. Let's see. My guy Keenan Ricketts chimes in here. Thank you guys so much for the interaction today. We appreciate that. Make sure you keep leaving your stuff down there. We want to interact with you guys, especially more in the off season. It's going to be a lot more of a give and take thing because of course there's less news for us to give you, so we want to be able to have these conversations with you guys. So thank you guys so much. And if you're part of the hashtag Replay Gang, again, make sure you leave your comments down below and questions as well. But Keenan says getting a veteran running back instead of a wide receiver is wild. If the running back isn't Kamara, Chubb, or Henry, why bother? Lamar is the best part of our run game anyways. This is another point. I mean, I don't think that the Ravens necessarily need another wide receiver, so to say, either. But this is a good point in the sense that he's saying Lamar is the best part of our run game anyway. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really think that we need to continue. Listen, there's only one football. There's only one football to go around. We have a Lamar Jackson who we know they're going to be giving him the ball to carry on design runs at least probably 7 to 9 times per game. That's just how Greg Roman likes to operate things, right? So with him, and then a J.K. Dobbins, who's a promising young stud, Gus Edwards, who's just a bruising running back. So that 1-2 combo, that's 3 ball carriers right there that are already really, really good.
Yep.
So going out and getting a Melvin Gordon, like we said, yes, it is an insurance policy, but it kind of seems like overkill, right? Especially considering if those guys come back healthy next year.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's Gus, J.K., Justice Hill, Tyson Williams. You know we're going to get an undrafted free agent running back, too. That's 5. Are we going to carry 4 running backs? Because we were running that last year, and Tyson will be inactive like every single time. So,
yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Let's see. Black Daniel says, I'm okay with Gus and JK not getting any burn until week 1. I'm not moved by the idea of Gordon, though. We have bigger fish to fry.
And I'm glad you brought this up because we went over Jamison Hensley's top 9 needs, and I think running back was like 7 or 8. Yeah. That's kind of the one of these where that's for the draft. Anything below like 6 or 5, I say draft.
Yeah.
Actually, no. That's like late round draft. Anything else is like higher up draft, like what you're looking for, even free agency. But like, really?
Yes. Let's see. Yolanda asks here, what is the plan for Tyson Williams?
I'm kind of upset that we re-signed him, not because he's a bad player, but because it's just not happening here. It's not. I mean, the coaching staff doesn't trust him, and I know that Bengals game he kind of just gave up. It's kind of just not a fit anymore.
Right. Let's see. Yolanda says here, why are we not focusing on the O-line and the pass rush situation? I think the pass rush situation, everything that the Ravens have done so far in the offseason is very indicative to the fact that they're probably going to try to address that in the draft, you know. I think that with that 14th pick, as of right now today, I think that they're going to go with an edge rusher, an outside linebacker with that 14th pick, if they do stay there. But regardless, in the first round, their first 2 picks, one of those picks will be an edge rusher. You can book that right now, right here, right now. But O-line, you know, yeah, O-line, they went ahead and addressed the right tackle position specifically with Morgan Moses. Me personally, I think that they should go ahead and draft a center as well. And I'm looking for them to maybe do that in maybe, I don't know, 3rd round, somebody like that. I'm not a developmental guy.
Maybe trade up with all
maybe trade up
4th round picks. You know,
yeah, maybe trade up and, you know, get a good center, right? That way you can take Patrick McCarry and plug and play him anywhere like you know he can, you know, and just have him as kind of like that gadget guy. I think that would probably be the best thing to do. But that's just me, though. That's just me, you know.
That's just speaking with too much sense right now, honestly.
Right. Yeah, you know, so. Let's see. My guy Dawson chiming in here says, I think the Ravens need a backup tight end more than a receiver. What happens if Mark Andrews goes down? Nick Boyle's going to be tight end 1.
Let's not bring that up.
Backup tight end. Yeah, more than a receiver. I don't hate that.
I know they were talking about the guy from Maryland. I mean, I'm still not opposed to bringing back Josh Oliver, honestly, as a tight end 3 because he's more of a pass-catching tight end compared to Nick Boyle, who's a run-blocking and pass-blocking tight end.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. All right. So, Melvin Gordon talk, in short, just kind of wrap all that up. Me and Alex are kind of like mixed on it, but we're more so leaning towards the side of, hey, don't make that move. Like Black Daniel said, there's bigger fish to fry. Like we have, you know, better things to be concerned about right now at this very moment. So, you know, wouldn't be terribly, you know, upset if it did happen, especially for the right price.
Yeah.
You know, but if it doesn't happen, then I'm totally fine with that as well. And I think Alex agrees.
Yep.
Okay.
I do.
So, let's see. All right. So next we're going to go ahead and get into the re-signings rather, that the Ravens made over the past week or so. So Calais Campbell and Josh Bynes actually both re-signing with the Ravens. Now, normally when we're talking about signings for the Ravens, we do like a like it, love it, or hate it. Me personally, I love both of these re-signings, and for two different reasons. Calais Campbell, and I talk about this all the time on the podcast. Not only is he dominant on the football field physically, I mean he's also an emotional leader on that defense. He's part of what gives that defense an identity. So I think bringing him back this season for another season, along with a Derek Wolfe as well, who did not play a single snap last year, having the Monstars back. That plus, adding a Michael Pierce, a developing Justin Madubuike, I really, really like that unit right now. I really like that unit. And I feel like they'll probably address it a little bit more in the draft as well. But bringing a Calais Campbell back, that'll even help whoever they do draft for the defensive line, because he's signing for another 2 seasons. So I love that one. Josh Bynes, I love that one just because of how much of just a gamer Josh Bynes is. Like, even at this stage in his career, like, he is what I like to call a see ball, get ball kind of guy. Like, he has the instincts that you want in a linebacker, especially playing in a defense like the Ravens play. A lot of 3-4. A lot of times he's lined up over top, and he's always around where the ball is. And I think that he actually benefits guys like Patrick Queen as well, because he allowed him to move to a position where he was more effective. So I really love both of these re-signings, but I really want to hear what you have to say about it as well, Alex.
Yeah. I don't love either of them. I'm on the I guess. I think with Josh Bynes, I mean, it's safe, and much like most Ravens signings, it's safe. There are, I think, better linebackers out there. I'm not saying I hate it whatsoever, but I mean, we could have went a different route. I mean, going from Bobby Wagner to Josh Bynes, like, no disrespect. I mean, Josh Bynes literally made the final tackle of the Super Bowl, but like, it's a very big drop off. To think you're getting a guy like Bobby Wagner, an All-Pro, then you go to Josh Bynes. Like I said, no disrespect. I like it because he plays like a Raven. But for the Calais Campbell one, I mean, I like it. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I was like, oh my god, like I'm so happy we got him back. He shouldn't be playing more than like 33% of snaps. But my problem is still the interior rush. I'm not comfortable with what we have. Wolf's coming off of not playing a whole year. I don't know what he's gonna bring. Campbell, he was effective in the run game, not so much in the pass game, and that's where they got us good. I mean, especially all these quarterbacks now in the AFC, you got to get some type of rush. Like I said, it's just like we're just out there to be somewhat competitive.
It feels like you're taking Calais Campbell for granted. That's what it feels like to me, bro.
I'm not taking him for granted.
But listen, like, bro, there was games last season where like we would not have won if it weren't for him. Look at the Colts game where we came back. If he does not block that field goal, we're 7-10 on the season.
If the Colts have a competent coach, they're putting the game away. I mean, it's all ifs at this point. It's ifs. Like,
I mean, yeah, they're ifs, but I'm just saying, like, he's a big time impact. And here's my thing.
He's so much of an impact, but when he wasn't there against the Browns, we shut down Chubb and Kareem Hunt. He wasn't playing that game.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
So here's my thing. It's like, I'm happy he's back, but it's not like I'm sitting here jumping around over the moon about it. I mean, it's cool for a leader standpoint, but a leader needs to be playing more than 33% of snaps. So that's why I'm looking at other guys to come on and step up. But like I said, I like them both. I mean, it's definitely really good to have, but it's a 1-year deal. It's not a 2-year deal. It's 1 year with a very low cap hit on the first year. I think this is his final year, so let's get a ring for him.
Yeah. Like I said, I really am more so of a fan of the Calais Campbell signing because he is an emotional leader. Just taking out what he does on the field, which is a lot. I mean, he's really good on the field. Like, he stops the run. He makes big plays when you need him. But like I said, the most important thing for me is that he gives that defense some sort of identity, outside of, a Marlon Humphrey running around the field screaming and hyped up and whatnot when he makes a good play. Calais Campbell is the guy on the sidelines, like, and you can go back and watch some of the Ravens Wired from the past couple of seasons. He is the guy on the sidelines, giving guys advice, hyping guys up, just being that veteran leader. And I feel like that's an intangible that you need on your football team, especially on your defense. Defense is a very, very emotional side of the football. Like, you have to, play with a lot of emotion on that side of the football. So it's like, I think that what he brings to the table is is invaluable, you know. So I that's why I say I love bringing Calais Campbell back. I get he's older, and MDT Sports here says we need to be younger at that position. Yes, I get it, but this is also why I think that we should draft at that position, and I also have hopes that guys like Justin Madubuike take that next step, you know. So, but that's why I'm saying I love it though.
I gotcha. Like I said, I mean, there's still work to be done. They can't sign these guys and say that's it. They can't. I mean, the interior line. If you're happy with the interior line, I mean, Broderick Washington, Madubuike, Wolf not playing a whole year. Campbell was out a couple of games last year too. I mean, he hasn't been the most reliable the past 2 years. He's been out a couple of times. Maybe that's age, but just with everybody else getting a lot better, you need to get some type of rush. So I'm hoping we can find that. We'll see.
Yeah. Let's see. Daryl Anderson says here, Calais was a great signing. He doesn't show up a lot on the stat sheet, but he's 35 and still getting doubled and opening up plays for the rest of the guys on defense. Watch film. He contributes to a lot. I mean, that's one of the main reasons that I really like, him in Baltimore on this defensive line, because he does help out, drawing double teams, things like that, and freeing up other guys. Now, for me, this kind of puts me to this other comment that I saw, and I can't remember who it was. Yeah, it was my guy Dre. He says we definitely should be making edge a main priority. I think that having a Calais Campbell, having hopefully, and this is hopefully, a Derek Wolf back, having a Justin Madubuike, Michael Pierce. What is going on with Brandon Williams?
He's still a free agent.
Wow.
I mean, he's not. I think that's why we got Michael. If we re-sign Brandon Williams to a fairly big cap hit, and you have Michael Pierce too, I don't know what's going to happen to me, honestly, because that's two run stuffers when there's still nobody to get to the quarterback. And Darrell bringing up, he gets these double teams. He's getting these double teams, but nobody else is getting at the quarterback. If one person's getting double team and we still cannot generate sacks, I mean, pressure is cool and all, but you need to get the sacks, and we still can't do that. Which is why, obviously on draft edge, do something. I mean, come on now. So it's definitely it's a start, but there's still a long way to go if we want to get these guys on the line and start getting some sacks.
Yeah. Let's see. Dre also says here we should definitely draft somebody on the interior. I agree there. Definitely agree there. Not sure if we'll go that route in the first couple of rounds, but I definitely think in third and fourth round that'll start to be addressed. Gilbert here says OA needs a partner in the trenches.
Kayvon, I agree. Jermaine Johnson.
That's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing a lot about Jermaine Johnson. I've been hearing a lot about that. Also, other kind of like, I don't want to say too deep, or not too deep options, but I don't know if you've heard of Nick Benito as well. I think out of Oklahoma, I want to say. Pretty good edge rusher, has like the highest pressure rate out of like any edge rusher last season.
Hearing pressure makes me think of Jalen Ferguson.
I know the whole pressure daddy thing. I know. But I mean, at the same time though, like you got a guy like Owe alongside a guy who is constantly getting pressure. That could actually work. Because Owe, we've seen him finish. We know he can finish. He has the quickness.
He actually doesn't give up. He doesn't give up.
He does not give up.
His first sack, he literally ran halfway.
Ran
across the field.
him down. Yes.
And that's what we were missing with guys we had. They kind of just would. I wouldn't say give up, but I mean, they always literally, like, for me, the defensive, just the build of like a DK Metcalf. He's huge. He shouldn't be that quick, and that's what he is. So I love seeing that.
Yeah, me too. All right, so I think that covers Josh Bynes re-signing, Calais Campbell as well. What's up?
Can you bring up Action Jackson Flock's comment? Because I do want to definitely talk about this. I'll go on up about the receivers thing and like keeping the same energy, because I definitely want to talk about that, because it's a good point to make. So you say, let me pull it up. Let our young, already drafted wideouts play, but why not keep the same energy at the interior D line? Madubuike, I think we've been like his biggest fans. We've been hyping him up for like over a year now. I mean, and with Broderick Washington, you know what you were gonna get. Compared to the receivers, I mean, Duvernay just made it as a return specialist. I mean, I'm definitely cool with both of them, but I definitely, the same way I would like a veteran receiver, I wouldn't mind somebody else coming on the D line too. I have faith in them, but I definitely still want to see us get better than just sit with what we have. That's what I was getting with that.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree there for sure. The drafted wideouts that we got, they're actually making an impact on the offense. Like Devin Duvernay is coming off of the best season of his career. You're talking
He was actually
about
a threat in the pass game. I mean, he did have receiving touchdowns.
yeah. I mean,
Lions,
even guys
Vikings.
like James Prochet prove that like they're useful, they're valuable. Like, you know, like
7 catches, 76 yards, and inactive.
yeah. Yeah, healthy scratch. That was ridiculous. Maybe we'll talk about that more at some point too in this offseason because yeah, we got to bring that back up. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into some questions from you guys as well. Definitely want to get you guys' questions about anything going on right now, Ravens related, any other NFL team related as well. You can ask us about literally anything, even if it's not NFL related. It can be other sports, anything. Honestly, anything.
I mean, I can start it off, unfortunately, with some really bad news. I mean, we all know about.
Sure. Right.
Saturday morning with the whole Dwayne Haskins stuff. I literally was in the shower, go out, and I see Boz in here actually texting me the news. So that definitely kind of ruined my day, not going to lie. So definitely prayers up to him and his family. And yeah, that's all I'm really going to say about that. It definitely sucks.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, condolences to his family, his friends, you know, loved ones, people close to him. And rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. It was very unfortunate news that, you know, was broken on, like you said, Saturday morning. And it just comes out of left field. And it just feels it hits different, you know, when you have like these young star, like, you know, athletes or just these young people in general who pass away like that, you know, especially in ways like that. It's just tough to see.
And bringing up, quote unquote, I wouldn't say failures, but struggles like one person did. What was the point? Why would you, like, there's no point to bring that up. And the apology that was put out today by him, there's a reason why his camera wasn't on. He was reading off a piece of paper. I could tell that from a mile away. So
yeah, I mean, he was even like plugging the podcast too on the thing. It's just
it's
like, come on, man.
You don't do that.
You got to be more sensitive. You have to, what they say, read the room.
And I'm glad he got called out by the people he did, including Lamar Jackson. I was very happy.
Oh yeah.
Well, I love that.
That's what I love about Lamar, man. He's never afraid to like speak his mind. Like, no, I can't really think of any other quarterbacks who would say something like that to Adam Schefter.
None of them did.
None of them.
There's your answer.
No other quarterback would ever get on Twitter and fix their fingers to like.
I know Bateman called him out. Queen called him. Like multiple Ravens players did. So definitely props to them. Props to our team because that was big.
Absolutely. Definitely rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins for sure. But yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and get your questions down there below for our question segment of this episode 105 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you guys also go ahead and like the video. I saw we had like maybe like 10 or so likes. Can we get some more likes, guys? If you're watching live right now,
we're at 30.
We're at 30 now. Nice. Okay, cool. I like that. If you're watching live, you're just getting in here, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. We would greatly appreciate that. But yeah, like I said, make sure you go ahead and get your questions down there as well, because we do want to get you guys' what you guys are thinking. We want to be able to respond to it. I want to ask you this, Alex. Did you see the UFC card last Saturday?
So I went to sleep after the Gilbert fight. I had to work Sunday morning, but from up until then, it was good. I thought that fight, it wasn't unanimous in my opinion. I saw your tweets too. I mean, a little shaky,
yeah.
But I need to watch the highlights of the co-main event. I missed the co-main events, but the fights I saw, like, they're pretty damn good.
They're pretty good, man. I mean, the most important fight to me was the last fight you watched, Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat Chimaev. That was a good ass fight.
Yeah.
Like you said, I did not think that Khamzat won by unanimous decision, like by any means. Honestly, I kind of thought that maybe Gilbert could have got a split decision, But that last round where Hamzat was kind of putting it on him for a little bit, it was like 30 seconds where Gilbert was kind of shelling up a little, but he kind of came back through some more strikes. Just didn't really do anything to sway the judges, one way or his way rather. And, I get it, but
yeah.
I think Hamzat will definitely be facing Colby Covington next, or I hope he faces Colby Covington next, and that fight would be fireworks. Oh my God. Yeah. But we do have a super chat donation. This one coming from Yolanda. Thank you so much, Yolanda.
Thank you, Yolanda.
Making it rain here on episode 105 of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you so much. And asking a question as well. 2-in-1 says, who is one player that you want the Ravens to trade up for in the draft and why?
It's 2, actually, for me. First, I'm going to go with Kayvon Thibodeau. That was mine. I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. The way he plays just fills the need. Another one is actually 2. It's if they fall. And let's say Kayvon's taken. Let's say we're at pick like 7 or 8 or 9. And let's say maybe one Sauce Gardner is still there. Listen, I'm sitting here. I'm making that call like, you got to go and get him. If he's there, or even if Stingley falls a little bit too, I wouldn't mind it. But those are the guys I would trade up for. But I'm not going to try to give too much because if we ever mock draft, I don't want to like spoil it. But that's who I would trade up for. Just a couple of guys.
Yeah, I'm thinking Kayvon Thibodeau, like all the way, man. Like edge rusher, time and time again, it has been proven that this league is about, and like I said on the last episode, it's a hit and not get hit league. You need rushers who can hit the other team's quarterback. You need blockers who can protect your quarterback from getting hit. So I'm prioritizing edge rusher over pretty much anything. So I would love to see them trade up to get one of those premier edge rushers in the draft, one of those next up guys who's expected to be, kind of like a shutdown edge, like a game wrecking edge, just somebody like that to go alongside Odafe Owe. I think that can make our defense honestly lights out because that opens up so many more opportunities for the secondary that we already have, including a Marcus Williams, including a Marcus Peters, including a Marlon Humphrey. But I would love to see Sauce Gardner on the team as well, just kind of rounding out that secondary with some young talent like that. I would love that.
And I mean, speaking of Kayvon, the last defensive lineman I could say we drafted from Oregon was Lodinata. That turned out pretty good. I'm just saying that turned out pretty damn good. So I wouldn't mind going back to that.
Let's see. And thank you so much, Yolanda, again for your super chat donation. We appreciate you so much making it rain here on episode 105 of PRP. J1213 says, just finished track practice. Who do you think we will get in the first round? I mean, kind of what we were just talking about, kind of, but who do I think we will get in the first round if we stay at 14? Right now, it's kind of tough. Maybe Stingley. Maybe, I don't want to say a Linderbaum, but I could see them going that direction. Or an edge, whoever's there.
They said we don't want to get a center, so.
They did.
We know that.
But they may be.
We weren't going to get Bateman last year, too, right?
So. Exactly. So, yeah. All right. So, let's see. Black Daniels here says, back to the Liars Luncheon. Can we go back to the comments about Ronnie Stanley? Did not give me confidence on his status.
Yeah. And I know that video came out today of him, on the beach. I don't know if you saw that, but.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there's still a lot more work to go. And I'm with you, Black Daniels. That's why I'm not against us getting a tackle in like round 3 or 4, because I don't see him playing. I don't see him starting this season. I'll say that, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's see. Don C says, I like trading back up early second round to get David Ajabo if we don't get Jermaine Johnson in the first, or trade way back with Kansas City and get their 2 first rounders and get 2 quality guys.
I wouldn't mind getting Ojabo in the second round.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. I know he's hurt, but he was doing his thing, and he's from Michigan, played under Mike McDonald. I feel it wouldn't really be a bad pick, just depending where you pick him at, and depending how bad the injury really is. We saw Cam Akers come back from a torn Achilles in 6 months, but not everybody is like Cam Akers.
Right. Another super chat donation. This one coming from Mod Boz himself. Thank you so much, Boz. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Says, you all know I've been a big fan of Haskins since he came to Pittsburgh. Great person, gone way too soon. One last time, #Haskin for MVP. Rest in peace.
He was out here throwing the Haskins MVP. If you know, you know. He was thrown in here all the time.
Yeah.
All the
he
time.
was. Daryl Anderson here says, I like Jermaine Johnson or Jordan Davis at the 14th. Either pick would be great. So addressing either the defensive line or edge rusher, I'm not mad at that. But I would definitely, like I said, again, prioritize edge rusher. We definitely do need some, not insurance policies. We need assets, especially at that spot. You know, like there's no we need a TJ Watt. We need a TJ Watt. Like that is what is going to a Myles Garrett. You know what I mean? That is what gets you somewhere in the AFC these days, because all these quarterbacks are dynamic. All these quarterbacks, they can escape. They have great escapability, mobility, things like that. So you need a guy who can just really get after them and shut down the play before they get the chance to be dynamic. You know, so yeah.
I mean, and I've seen that Kayvon could be falling. I know. I think what's his name, Trayvon Walker from Georgia. I mean, people are talking about him as a top 3 pick now.
Yeah.
So you know, Hutchinson's one of them. I don't know how people say Gardner could be a top 4 pick. You don't. Yeah. Kayvon could be falling. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes on that, because being at pick 14 is like it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the top of the draft now, because it affects us big time.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Like Black Daniel says here, we need a game changer for sure. For sure. And maybe Owe can step up and be that guy. Hey, listen, I was looking at Owe's film from, his highlights and stuff like that from last year, and I really like what I saw out of that kid in his rookie season. So, I think that we should definitely be keeping an eye out for him. I think he will probably be one of the most improved players on that roster.
I mean, his first 3 weeks, 2 sacks, a fumble recovery, had the pressure on Mahomes to throw an interception to Tavon Young. That's just his first 3 games of his NFL career. So just imagine.
Crazy, right? But yeah, I think that is going to do it for our burning question segment for this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. And we thank you guys so much for coming out to this episode, PRP. Episode 105. 105. Still trudging along, guys. Off season is here. It is like the meat and potatoes of the off season. We are getting very, very close to the draft in about 3 weeks. The mock draft episode is coming up. Somebody had just asked about that, actually, and just wanted to let you guys know that is on the horizon. It is coming soon. We know draft is very, very close, less than a month away. So we might even be having a special guest on here to talk about draft for some of the episodes. Just be on the lookout for it. But the mock draft episode with me and Alex will be coming soon.
For me, I mean, NBA playoffs too. We're gonna get swept. The Bulls are about to get swept, but I have to wear this while I still can. So,
man, I can't wait for that. The play-in starts tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Make sure you are tuning into some NBA basketball, because listen, if you think that the playoffs is like entertaining, watch the play-in tournament. The play-in tournament, like the stakes, like it's just everything's on the line. It's like you can't even get into the playoffs if you don't win this. Like your whole season's on the line. So you get a really good, good, competition, really good games, and it's gonna be fun. Like Black Daniel says here. So he also says he can't wait for the mock draft episode. That will also be fun for sure. But thank you guys so much for coming out to this episode of PRP. One more time before we get out of here, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram at SuttonDef, just like you see down there below. You can find this guy over here on Twitter at SimplyAS10 and on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. And then on Instagram, you can find us at the Purple Rain Podcast, just like you see spelled down there below. A lot of people still, I don't know, they use Purple Rain and they use RAIN for the Purple Rain Podcast when they're searching us up. It's REIGN. Like it's like a reign of terror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah. I'll have a big reign of terror.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've been using a lot of big words like vengeance, revenge, things like that. So, hopefully.
Kalen Zacharias Metcalf. I mean, that too. Future
Just got to throw his name in every episode.
Future Raven. I'm manifesting it.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys so much again for coming out to this episode. We appreciate it so much. With that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out for the evening.
Thank you for coming through to episode 105, the Joe Flacco, Hollywood Brown episode of the Purple Rain podcast. And as always, don't forget to stay positive, test negative, and don't forget ever
to call God. This has been episode